Survived the vote. Close call. Thought for sure I was going home. I really expected Mary to turn on me, so that part wasn't surprising. What was surprising was that Tate voted Brenna out instead of me on the revote.
She put one on you, Megan put one on you, and then you put both on Brenna. So in the original plan, we started to put both on Megan, and Megan still went on home. She did it too.
She at least had a little bit of distress. She put a vote on me.
Right.
I just put 4 votes on her.
It's just so unfortunate.
This got weird. I sort of thought that I was going to go, and I don't know if I feel like disappointed to be in the game still. This is a lot of thinking. There's like a lot of layers here. And I think both Mary and Tate are better at thinking out multiple plans.
I get it. It was a good move.
But if
and
I
win,
I still want to take you to the end.
I still want to take you.
Tate seems to be acting like it still could be us in the final two. I don't think really either of us wants Mary at the end.
Even though I derailed it, I do still very much appreciate using the idol on me.
This whole time, I sort of expected to be out before final tribal. I kind of thought that it was going to be me every single vote. And so the fact that I'm still here is uncharted territory.
I think Megan have made no enemies.
Yeah.
So
And
if we're next to each other, they hate both of us.
I think
But
this
they have to
locks
pick one.
us into taking each other.
Yeah.
So I just voted Brenna out at Final Four. I was the only one that voted Brenna. I voted for her 4 times. And honestly, I'm not I'm not sure it was the right move.
Well, I did do a confessional about this earlier.
Yeah.
This exact situation. I said, actually, I think Mary's going to save Tate.
Yeah. Understandable.
So that's where we are. I felt like something was brewing, and the fact that he was missing was confusing to me. I also assumed that he talked to you while we were in showcase.
I hope it was, but more importantly, I still have to claim it, own it, present to the jury confidence in that move. Otherwise, it may be viewed as a mistake and a reason not to vote for me at the end.
You're a more loyal and more I think you would have pulled more jury votes from either me or Brenna. And so we were with your style of play versus I've been backstabby to play and Tate and everyone, and Brenna is wanting to be backstabby for Tate. Yeah. So we were talking about how your style of play would have pulled votes, and that's why.
It still does not make sense to me why Mary played the idol for me. I'm the one who got Megan to take it away from her. I tried to vote it out of the game. Now, I'm gonna try to take Megan to the end.
I was ready for him to pitch Brenna.
Yeah.
Which I also would have been willing to do. I'm not sure if you would have been.
I would have been if it meant staying without the fear of this, but I thought truly Brenda was an easier person to beat at Final 3 than Tate is. I think Tate in a Final 3 challenge is scary to me compared to Brenna.
My plan going forward, before knowing who wins immunity, I would like to sit next to Megan. If I win, I will take Megan. If Megan wins, I need her to take me. but I worry she's going to take Mary.
I am surprised that he kept me over Brenna.
Yeah.
I think I am more of a threat to his final 2 game than Brenna is.
I definitely agree. He definitely upped his game tonight, which is unfortunate.
I also worry that if I sit next to Mary, which I do think Mary would take me, but I fear I lose that vote.
I did say to Annie when you were in the hallway that Annie leaving on Monday blew up my game. That is when everything deteriorated for me.
It is. Because I was locked in on that plan.
Yeah.
And then when she left, I panicked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we see how it went.
Final immunity tomorrow. My last chance to win against the 2 people who've already won. But it's a balance challenge. And I do sort of have okay balance. It just is so iffy though. I should have better balance than I do because I'm a dancer. I was a dancer.
Ultimately, as someone who never learned how to ride a bike as a child, temporarily learned how to ride a bike for prom, those plans got canceled and I never actually got to ride the bike for prom. I'm relying on my balance to get me to final 2.
Hello castaways, welcome back to another challenge. Today's challenge, with only 3 competitors, is to balance these 2 little balls on this plate. So you'll be holding the plate and you'll have 2 little balls and you gotta balance them. Mary, you are no longer immune. Nice try.
Don't pretend.
Hey, it's just
There you go.
help balance.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so the immunity is once again back up for grabs?
The last time?
That's tragic.
The last
I didn't
time,
realize
back up
bottom
for grabs.
3 could get, or bottom 3, sorry.
Top 3. Wow, we
Top
suck.
3.
One to talk.
Yeah. Points off, points off. Anyway, the immunity idol is back up for grabs. May the odds be ever in your favor. Okay, castaways, prepare. 3, 2, 1, go.
That's so dramatic.
Tate already causing destruction of property. Tate immediately has lost his balls, but he does earn 1 reset. The second attempt is going slightly better. There we are. He's found his rhythm. Mary and Megan holding on for dear life, not moving. Mary has to pee. She's nodding her head. She's confirming. Imagine me as a gust of wind. What if I start running really fast with my hands? Tate has lost his second.
Does my first setup count as a drop?
Yes.
Yes. Tate is out. It is now between Mary and Megan. The M names. Oh, there is a sentinel there. Reposition both of the balls. Oh. I spoke too soon. Mary gets
Yup.
1 reset. 1 reset.
Yup.
Yeah. That's my
Stress
name.
me out.
That's my job. Megan is concentrated. Too much? Not enough? The balls are rotating. Why are they doing?
Oh, her glasses.
Her right arm is not. Dude, you need to pull the back of your face. And Mary has lost her second ball. I can't believe Mary's balls dropped. It's crazy. You lost it. Congratulations.
Megan, I've literally never seen you this happy.
Good job, Megan.
Congratulations, Megan. This might be the most important time to win an immunity idol. Congratulations, you are immune. How do you feel?
I can't wait to wear this to class tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely.
And to showcase.
Yes.
Haven't felt this one before.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
It looks good on you.
And I suppose we'll see everyone at the next tribal council.
Well, that was quick. I am genuinely happy for Megan to win that challenge. I know that she has said she did not believe she could ever win a challenge. There was genuine joy from me seeing her win it. But I think she's going to take Mary. I think I'm getting cut at 3. My pitch to Megan is that I think Mary beats either of us. Honest truth that I was never going to take Mary. A little dishonesty in that I'm not sure Megan shouldn't take Mary, but I definitely wasn't going to, so I can play that up. I'm going to highlight that I've made enemies. I backstabbed Brenna. I lied to Mary. We all voted Zach out first. The only enemy Mary has is Megan. And if she's sitting by here, that's not a vote that she can lose. Maybe I'll lean into emotion. Maybe I'll go full threat. But hopefully, I can unlock the right set of words to get Megan to take me to the end.
Tate just came over here to pitch Megan because she won final immunity last night. And he's nervous. And he came over here and took her from a normal conversation with me, and then I went into his room and then closed the door, which seems so dramatic. Whatever.
It's me, Goth Jeff Provost. Anyway, I mean, no, I'm not Jeff. I'm Goth Zach today. Anyway.
They told me this has to be in front of a naturey place, so I found some flowers and I kneeled in front of them.
So here we are at Final Tribal Council. I'm excited to be here, and I'm glad that I get to have a hand in choosing.
We're about to have tribal at Final 3 with Megan, Mary, and Tate.
My confessional going into Final Tribal. I'm really torn. I've been thinking about this a lot.
As we're moving into this last little bit here, I'm not really sure what to expect. Honestly, I kind of figure Tate's the one I think he's going to be booted out. I guess as we move into it, it's going to be interesting between Mary and Megan. I really don't know what to expect. I don't know.
I feel as though I know the most about Megan's game. I would like to hear her kind of own her gameplay, and I want to hear her talk about the things that I don't know from when we played together, but also like the things that happened after I was voted out.
If Mary's there, that adds complication. I think I could make a case for any of them.
Megan is immune. Mary and Tate are up to be voted.
It's been a crazy time. Oh God, I almost fell.
Does Megan have potential to win? Yeah, of course she does. I think everybody that's in the Final 3 has potential to win.
I don't know how it's gonna go. I mean, again, I do feel confident. I'm pretty sure Megan wants to go to the end with Tate because I think that she thinks she's gonna beat him, and she doesn't think that about Mary, and that's interesting to me.
But based on the behavior and communication styles of everyone, I'm leaning more towards Mary, but that really could change.
I don't know who my loyalty is going to lie with in this final vote. Of course it depends on who gets it, but also, I don't know. I'm pretty neutral towards Megan. Tate and Mary, got some opinions on them that I'll share later.
I think that any of the 3 left in this Final Tribal Council could win the game. It just depends on how they defend their games. Are you going to talk about the moves that you made? Are there big moves that nobody knows about, like secret things that you did to further your game? Those are the things that I want to hear about in Final Tribal Council.
I am intrigued by, like, Tate is so sure that Mary would have Clay and Zach's votes. I don't think that that's entirely true. I don't think the Clay vote is entirely true, at least. That's interesting to me. I'm excited for the chats after. How do they go? I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go. I'm excited.
Welcome everybody to the live pre-recorded finale of GSP Survivor 2025 We have with us today our final surviving members. We have Mary, we have Megan, we have Tate. Oh, incredible. And then as wonderful part of our jury, we have Brenna, we have Annie, and we have Clay in that order.
And our first juror.
We have Zach.
Oh yes. And me. Anyway, let's get into this, why don't we? How are you all feeling right now in this moment exactly?
I'm feeling great.
Yes. I wonder why. Explain to us why you're feeling great, Megan.
Although I actually am feeling nervous, I think that having power at Final 3 is really scary because what if I choose wrong and then they vote for the other person?
I see. So many thoughts to consider.
Yeah, many thoughts.
Mary or Tate, how are you all feeling?
I am very happy for Megan that she won the final challenge. I know like I am the bad guy in this show, but when Megan won, I was very happy for her little joy dance at the end.
It was adorable.
It was great.
I am glad you didn't pass out.
Yes, and Megan saying that she never thought she was ever going to win a challenge, and she won the most important challenge.
Yeah.
So I am very happy for Megan, and I am hopeful, I'm hesitantly hopeful that Megan makes a decision that also benefits me as well, even if it's just one step further.
And Mary?
Yeah, that was very well said. I am also very happy for Megan. I think I would not be honest to say that I don't feel great tonight is 50-50. And I think Megan will make the best decision for her, and she should. So I am just along for the ride and grateful to have come this far.
Wonderful. Would you all like to reflect on any memories of this game? Any standouts that are coming to mind in these final moments?
I have some memories, but I'm going to save them for a little bit later.
Okay. Yeah, Megan knows she's going to be able to share them later.
Yes.
I hope I'll be able to share them later, but I think the game as a whole has been just super fun. I've really enjoyed the opportunity to play with everyone that I voted out and everyone that I didn't vote out as well.
Wow.
So I think that it's just been a great time. My particular favorite memory was writing down Zach. But
well, he's not here right now.
But he's not here right now, so don't tell him.
Yeah.
But I do like Tate said, I think every time someone wanted me to be, that wasn't me. I think when Tate won and when Megan won, it was genuinely very exciting, very fun to see how the game, to then think about the strategy and what changed and everything. So I think I've just enjoyed playing the game.
Yes, it would be less fun if one person just won every challenge.
Of course, I was very excited when I won too.
Yes,
but
but even absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like I will have many memories from this game. I think larger than that, I just think the game as a whole will be one big important memory for me. Playing this game with these people, I genuinely think that I will cherish this, and it will be next year when I do Treasure Your Values, this will be one of the 5 that I put on there. So
it's really sweet.
I will also say most of my memories are the many mistakes that I made along the way, the moves that I tried to make that did not work out, but even those were fun.
Yes, I will second that. And recent memory.
Are there any other thoughts that you all feel that you need to share before we move into our final vote, of GSP Survivor 2025?
It's been a good time. Excited to see what happens next.
Absolutely.
As a final plea, I would like to tell Megan and the jury that if I am in the final 2, I will lay down my game and let Megan win, just to make it to final 2, to make it to the final stage. You can hold me accountable to it. You can hold me accountable to it. If I'm there, do not vote for me. On the flip side, if you cut me, Megan, I will not vote for you. I will vote for Mary. And I do believe that will be the deciding vote that loses you the game. That is all.
And Mary, would you like to make a final plea?
No, I think Megan is capable and has likely already made her decision. I have played the game closely with Megan. I believe that we know a lot of each other's games, and I think as far as that goes, I think she'll make the decision that's best for her, and I have nothing but respect for her for it. So I think the jury will see that as well.
Well, it's time to vote for the last time of GSP Survivor 2025. Unfortunately, in the circumstance that is before us, Tate, you would only be eligible to vote for Mary, and Mary, vice versa, you would only be eligible to vote for Tate. So your votes would cancel out. Megan will be the deciding factor of who proceeds into the final two. So Megan, make your final decision now. We'll be awaiting. What is written on the note is that the final survivor who will be moving on to second place.
I love that.
No, the vote is for the final juror.
Yes.
Who she's sending over here to the jury to join us.
The vote is for the final juror in second place.
No. I voted wrong.
Not second place.
Third place.
Sorry. I voted for who I wanted to be in the final.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, so the second person joining Megan in the
yeah,
final.
yeah,
Also,
I mean, this happened in Big Brother Canada, and the wrong
Where they
winner got
voted for the
crowned.
wrong person.
Yeah.
I mean, that is actually, I think, a more fun twist is that Megan wrote down the wrong name.
Yeah.
I thought I was supposed to vote for. Sorry, I was confused. I regret my decision then.
Well, I do think we might need to have some grace, depending on how this goes, or you can just read it.
I think, should we have a consensus vote about what
Let's see
happened?
who it is first.
The situation that has unfolded before us is that Megan put the name of the person who she wanted to bring to the final two instead of putting the name of who she wanted to become the final juror. So we are currently having a secret anonymous vote. So all of those in favor, close your eyes, of proceeding in the direction of whoever Megan put on the paper gets eliminated, not brought to the final two. Please raise your hand now. All right. I held up the number of fingers of how many votes there were. All in favor of proceeding in the direction of we redo the whole situation and Megan puts down who she wants to be eliminated on the paper. Please raise your hand now. All right, please put your hands down and open your eyes. We will be conducting a revote.
I didn't mess up the last vote. This is a revote of final tribal. And I've already cast my vote for Mary, but I wrote that I have thoughts that I will mention later because that's what I wrote on the first ballot. And it's because I didn't appreciate the way that Tate had comments in his final plea. And also, I think Annie and Brenna were trying to be extra messy in a way that I don't know if I should appreciate or not yet. We'll see.
Okay, let me retrieve the final vote for real this time. I have before me the correct vote of who in the final three will become the final member of the jury. The final member, once again included with a note
I have a lot to say.
that will be jury, is dramatic music, Mary. With the context, but I have thoughts I'll mention later.
Well, Mary, this is very rough for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like I said, I
Okay.
expected it.
What
Are we all in
questions do you
frame, do we
have
know?
since you've not been here?
Are we all in French?
I just want to know what you guys are
Yeah.
thinking about, really.
I mean, we haven't collectively, like Annie has questions. I think I have a question. We gave Clay some questions. Zach, you get to ask questions as yourself. You don't have to just be Jeff. And so if you, as Zach,
I'm Zach
have
now.
burning
Hi guys, I'm back.
questions or beef
Went on vacation.
to acknowledge, then you should do that.
Okay.
I am curious to know what Megan meant by she has thoughts. I'm assuming it's about Tate's final threat. And then
Tate's final threat is crazy.
I really thought that was gonna be my end. Like with that, it was because I also thought about doing that, and I was like, Megan wouldn't like that.
I'm interested to see though how both of them defend their games.
Yes, I'm curious to know because I feel that Megan was never very honest with me, and that's fine.
I want to know
But-
who Megan was honest with.
Yes, I think that's fair. And I think Tate was quite honest with me in some ways and very not in others.
And it is a game that is built completely on deceit, worthy of winning.
And whose game is that?
Depends on what they say.
Yeah,
Like it depends on what I hear. I feel like Tate's game is much more transparent than Megan's.
I agree.
Repeat
Yeah, I
it,
didn't want
Katniss.
to
We
see in
starting to
any
kill
of
each other.
I like that.
Could never trust Tate and would never trust Tate, but I think I'm curious about why Megan made the early game decisions that she did.
I wonder
And
if
what she
anybody
wants to
trusted
gain from
Tate.
it. Yeah. No one trusted him. Why is he worthy of winning?
But he made it to the end.
That might be my question.
He did make it to the end.
He did make it to
That's
the end.
something.
But did you make it to the end because no one trusted you?
Welcome back, everybody, to the final installment of GSP Survivor 2025. Congratulations to our final two. We have Megan, we have Tate. Hooray, you all did it. You made it all the way. Thanks. I will take this back now. We no longer need this. All right, Tate, would you like to start off since you wanted to present an opening statement?
Megan, do you want to go first or second?
You can go first.
Okay. I will go first then. Jurors, you all look fabulous tonight. Thank you for being here. But also, genuinely, thank you, Clay and Zach. I know that it is 1 o'clock in the morning. You didn't really care about Survivor, maybe still don't care about Survivor. So I do appreciate you guys being here. Even though I'm having a blast, I can understand if this feels more like a burden to you. To set the stage for my pitch to you, to receive your vote as winner of our Survivor season, I would first like to focus on just the experience as a whole. I have had one of the greatest joys of my life playing this game with you guys, and that is not hyperbole, even if it may sound like such. This has been amazing. Playing a social reality game with some of my favorite people, top half at least of my list of people. And then within my game, we'll get probably more into details later, but I did not play a perfect game. I made a lot of mistakes, but I did play a hard game. I took a lot of big swings. I made some good moves, and the moves that did not work, I got back up, I put the pieces back together in the best way to suit my game moving forward. Earlier, I asked you guys not to vote for me in the final if I were at 2. That was a lie. I've told many lies in this game. Now I'm asking you to vote for me. It's not important which one of those is the truth, which one's the lie. What's important is that I want you guys to each vote for who you think played the best game, the strongest game, and the game that you wish to represent this season of Survivor. Thank you.
I would like to start my speech by saying I feel like I could go to sleep at any moment. And that is my opening part of my statement. Also, I think my game involved lots of pivots, and I would like to talk to you all more about some of the different pieces of my game. But I never once really felt like I would make it to the end, ever. And so I impressed myself by getting here. I thought for sure that none of my plans would work out because they kept not working out. And so I am happy to give you the chance to ask me questions and to be able to answer them.
Alrighty. We will now proceed with the questioning by each member of our jury, proceeding in the order of which they were eliminated. It's me. I was Zach the whole time. I have got actually only one question for each of you. And I'll start with Megan, because that's the question that's been eating away at me. I want to understand, what is your reasoning on the very first day when Mary, Tate, and Brenna stepped away to get ice, and there were 4 of us in the room, and I believe it was you who proposed that we would have a very easy outnumbering scenario of, okay, we could just vote out one of those 3 and we would have the numbers. And I took it as surface value, and I said, cool, that's a good idea. And then I, as we all know, proposed Brenna as the person we should vote out. And then obviously that did not work out. And I want to know, what was your rationale on that?
For not voting one of the 3 of them?
Yes, yeah.
For not following through with that?
Yes.
Well, early on, surprisingly, funnily enough, my preferred first person changed a couple of times. From that first 3, my first pick would have been Tate to vote out, because I felt like he would play sort of a crazy game, which he did. And the reason I didn't was because at that point Tate and Brenna talked to me and were bringing me into plans, and I didn't feel like you and Clay had as many plans, so that didn't feel as secure to me.
Okay. And for Tate, again, very limited options and reactions to go off of, very limited experiences. But with you specifically, I feel like you played a very neutral, maybe neutral isn't the right word, a very ambivalent, just kind of, you gathered a lot of information, you didn't really propose alliances, you didn't give information, you didn't really do all that kind of stuff, you just kind of heard from other people. How can you convince me to vote for you when I have basically no like interpersonal experience to go off of?
Respectfully, I think that's a complete misread on my game. I think it is accurate for our interactions. It was only one round. We went on a cookout trip to play. And like I went to cookout to talk game with you guys. Like that's why we went to cookout that night, and very little game happened. I tried to put Clay on the spot of who do you want to vote out, and Clay was like, I'm not doing that. And then you said maybe Brenna, maybe Megan, and I was like, okay, interesting. And I like agreed with it. And at that point, I was playing slower. I was afraid to get in. But I'd say for everyone else, I gave them too much information. I do not think I was someone that maintained information. I told everyone every plan that I knew about, and then each round I had a different group that I actually was working with their plan. So I think I wouldn't describe it as ambivalent. I think I did gather a lot of information, and then each time I chose, okay, with where the votes are, like specifically at 6, which didn't work out, but I thought votes were going on Annie and 1 vote on Mary, that was enough for me to make a strike of a 3-2-1 vote using Mary and Clay. And again, it didn't work out, but I took in information, brought them in on my plan, and then executed the plan. As far as specifically voting you out first, I do think, I don't know if anyone else has the question, but my answer, like what's my biggest regret in the game, is cutting you first, because I think you could have been useful in my game. Which I mean, I got here, but it was not a very clean path to here. But my rationale for being fine with cutting you first was Clay was my original final 2 plan. And I thought with you out of the way, like even afterwards Clay said like, now I have no king, I have no god. And I knew that you would be Clay's king, Clay's god. So if I wanted to sit at the end with Clay, that's why it worked for my game to cut you at 1, or in the first round.
Okay. We'll now bring Clay up to the
Clay with no king, no god.
With no kings, no gods, I sit before you.
I'm right here.
My question goes out to each of you. And Tate, you've touched on this a little bit already, but I kind of want to know if you had just complete control of the game, were able to decide, early game, late game, right up to where you are now, how this game would have gone for you. What would have happened, and what's your rationale for that?
Who do you want to answer first?
Hey.
Okay. So if everything was completely in my control, at the time I would have still cut Zach at 1, and then I would have cut Megan at 6, which I tried to do. Specifically, I wanted Megan to take Mary's idol out of the game. That was the benefit of that move. If that move would have worked, it would have been beautiful. I would have loved it. So if I had complete control, that move would have been executed correctly, and I would still be proud of it. And I'm still even kind of proud of it as a dead move, but also more dead. Anyway, I would have cut Zach, then Megan, Annie at 5, and I wanted the final 4 to be me and Brenna and you and Mary. That way there were 2 duos, but then secretly I think the duos would have been me and you, and then Mary and Brenna, and it would have been the fake duos and the real duos, which I think would have been a really fun dynamic at 4, and I would have sat with you at 2 if I had complete control of everything.
Okay.
My game plan changed a couple of times. My plan early was to vote Zach because there was enough consensus there and he was enough of a wild card that I didn't know where he was going, so I wanted him out early. But my original plan was to vote Annie next, and I pitched that plan early because I didn't think Annie would work with me long term, and I was right about that actually, because Annie did abandon us. But I was planning to work with Brenna and Tate, but the problem was that I thought Brenna and Tate were too close to each other, and I didn't feel secure in that trio. So when we got to the night Tate won immunity, was right before that, Mary, Annie, and I had a conversation where we said we vote Tate out next. And that worked well because it would eliminate Tate from the duo that I was not feeling like I was enough of a part of. It was exactly Tate's plan in reverse, but for me, because we both realized that conflict and needed each other out, but then he won immunity that night, which led to the safer vote of us voting you out instead. You were not my plan that night in either circumstance. You were a byproduct of both of those plans not working the way that I wanted them to, but I felt more secure with Annie and Mary as a trio than I did with Brenna and Tate as a trio. And so I didn't want to vote Annie that night because I thought that Annie, Mary, and I would work together long term. And so the only other option then was to vote you. Once Annie quit on that that next one, I had to reevaluate everything. But ultimately my plan was to take Annie and Mary to the final 3, and I pitched that the same night. But then when I had to reevaluate, then my plan pivoted to try, I wanted Tate out next still, and then that didn't happen. And so I had to continue pivoting. My ideal situation would have been me and Annie in final 2, but that was risky from the start.
Okay, so first of all, congratulations, you two. You've made it to the end, and that is a big deal, and I'm proud of you both for fighting your way to the top. I do want you to know that my vote is open tonight. I mean, truly, it really is. I want to hear and know, and you've already talked a little bit about it, but about your total games, because I only know up until the point where I was voted out by gracious My gracious friends, thank you, friends of Hope for Mental Health. Okay, I have various questions I would like to ask tonight. The first one is for Tate. Did you, when I was having my professional conversation with Drew, look at my immunity idol?
I did.
And why?
I took your phone as a bit. I really did not plan on looking at the idol. I took your phone to get a reaction as jokes. And then once I took it away and you never reacted, I was just standing there like, well, now I have the phone. There was no reaction. And I was just like, well, I'm just going to go put it back. And then my thought was I'm going to try to put it back without you even detecting it, because that would also maybe be funny. But then, because my head was like, well, if you're not even going to know I took it, I might as well look at it. And it was a very impulsive decision that I immediately regretted after, which is why I basically convinced myself that I didn't take it, because I didn't look at it because I did feel bad about looking at it. It was not my plan to look at it. I know in Survivor, going through people's bags is a thing that happens, but we weren't really in Survivor mode, and I do think it was a mistake and I wouldn't do it again. But the series of events that led to it were taking it as a joke with no intention to look at it, and then I became flustered or uncertain whenever the reaction I expected didn't happen, and I made a poor decision in looking at it at that point, and then took it back.
I have a follow-up question for that. Because at that point, I had not expressed any interest in leaving the game. So did that change the way you played the game?
No.
You have another question?
I just want to make sure Tate didn't have anything else to say.
Yeah. No, there were various elements in the game, knowledge of your idol, as well as Brenna having an idol nullifier from the first night that is part of the board game. That it was just a gray area of should we use it or not. That when me and Brenna had various strategic talks, they were always kind of there, but also can we do this without factoring that in? It was kind of we wanted to play the game without those factors because they were gray at best. And then you quit the game that same round, and that kind of took the idol out of play. Yeah, I did my best. I immediately knew that I regretted looking at it. I didn't plan on using the information or telling anyone, and I was just gonna act like it never happened. And then I got pressed, and it came out. But then I still tried to make my decisions as if it wasn't there.
Thank you. Megan, I feel like I know more about your game because we were playing together. I want to know what is the defining feature of your game. Why is the game that you played and the way that you played it worth $1 million?
I think I did a good job, I thought, playing the middle between two trio alliances, between you, me, and Mary, and me, Brenna, and Tate. And I waited until I had to make a decision on those to actually make a decision. Voting Clay was a postponing of choosing which side. And I hadn't decided which side even after that until you wanted to quit the game. I was planning to vote Tate that night and still thought about it. But I was wanting to be between both sets of people so that I could get information from both of them. And I did feel like I had a lot of information. For example, I knew about your immunity idol before Tate looked at it. And that was, I feel like, information that when he was like, oh, I know what it is, and I wanted to be like, yeah, me too, but I didn't because that would ruin the plan. But I feel like I wanted to just gather as much information as I could, and that was ultimately what helped me. I didn't think I had a chance of winning any immunity idols and any immunity challenges, and so I knew that I just had to rely on social strategy.
That's all. Thank you. Good luck.
Okay, I think my question is what, and this is for both of you, what do you feel like is your like best and worst choices, whether it's specific moves or just like in revealing or not revealing bits of information? That's my question. Best and worst, so either of you can begin. Maybe actually Megan should start.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, what do you feel like were your best and worst single choices and or moves?
I think my worst move was giving the immunity idol back to Mary after I took it. But at the time that I gave it back to her, I wanted to work with Mary. And I didn't think Mary would work with me if I kept it. And so I gave it back to her, but long term that ruined my plan because then she used it against me to try and vote me out instead. So I regret that because it messed with what I wanted to do ultimately, but in the moment it was the only way I could see to move forward working with Mary was to give it back to her, because if I kept it, that would be an immediate distrust, because before tribal council I told Mary, I'm going to take your immunity idol and I promise I'll give it back. And I at that moment thought that was a good move, but that's what I view as my worst move at this point. My best move, I think, was like working between sides and talking to everyone who was in the game and making connections with everybody and feeling like there were multiple paths forward for me.
Hello, Brenna. My worst move, I think, is not starting a live tribal at 6. I think there's a world where we do stand up. I reconvene with Mary and Clay, and Megan does go in that vote. I think it was a very good plan we had set up. I think it got set up a little too early. And I think there were some spooks that made it fall through, and everyone's basically said like Clay was kind of the safe vote. It wasn't really no one's plan that Clay was going there. So I think it was a shaky enough vote that if we had some last minute talks, we could have made that happen. And then the whole game would have been different, because if Megan's out at 6, she's not here now. But then, because of that worst move, because I lost Clay, who was my number 2, and now Megan being in the game with Mary's idol, which I wanted out of the game, Megan became my final 2. I told her that night that I wasn't like locking it in yet, but that I was pretty sure that I wanted to go to the end with Megan, and that's what made the most sense to me once Clay was out of the picture. And then I reaffirmed that later of like, yes, this is what I think makes the most sense. So because of that, my best move was voting Brenna out at 4. I was the only person that voted Brenna at 4, only person that voted you at 4 since you asked the question. And my votes alone, I voted for you 4 times. You left, it shook up everyone's final 2 deal. Megan was gonna take you, you weren't gonna take me, Mary was gonna take you, and instead then at 3, I had a viable path to where Megan clearly took me, Mary said she was gonna take me, and I just don't think, no matter who was there, I was never winning that balance competition, or that balance challenge. So getting you out at 4 is what allowed me to be taken to the end, because I don't think that would have happened if you were here instead of Megan. And just emphasizing the fact that like I made the move, and Mary played the idol on me, which I deceived her to make, like she thought I was voting Megan to make that feel safe. Megan thought the vote was me. Like the votes got split enough that where I was the only person that wanted you gone out of 4 people, and I was able to make that happen. I was the only person that used my advantages correctly. Megan did successfully take an idol, but then gave it back. Mary used the idol on me in a move that ended up in a direction she didn't want it to go. I used my extra vote to get Brenna gone, and I got to use it twice on the revote. Annie quit with her idol. Clay used an extra vote on Brenna. He went home, and Zach did not get a chance to play his extra vote. or whatever is steal the vote. So I think it's very fortunate that like the best game for me also was like I got to use my advantage. So it feels like a very defining moment that I can point to of like this is a move that I'm proud of. Thanks, Brenna.
It's been so long. Congratulations, both of you. I wish it had been me, but I understand. I think I'll start with Megan. I think my question for you is, as you said, and as you told me when we were working together, so much of your game was to get Tate out. It was your plan. It was something you considered in the first vote. It was something that you approached me and Annie about. It was something that we had talked about with Brenna. It was your original plan at Final Four. And so how can I respect your game when your entire game was Tate is the biggest threat, I should vote Tate out, and then you chose to sit next to him?
I didn't think Tate was the biggest threat to me winning. I thought Tate was the biggest obstacle to overcome. And I feel like me getting here means that I did overcome that obstacle. I was worried that Tate would sway Brenna, and instead he voted Brenna out. And so that was not voting for Tate to get out was so that I could be closer to other people in my alliances. And those people ended up going home, specifically Annie and then Brenna went home, and that was out of my hands. I didn't vote for Brenna, and I didn't want Annie to go home. And so that was my obstacle with Tate. If Tate hadn't won immunity, I would have voted him on that 6th vote. And that was full force my plan. I was planning to vote him out at 4. That was full force my plan. And other people not working with that plan is beyond my control.
Tate, I think I understand your plan. I think I don't have respect for some of the moves you made, particularly with Annie. I don't necessarily I don't have any other questions for you. But I think from us talking and from your conversations here, I don't think I have any questions.
Hey, it's me, it's Jeff again. Well, let's have time for closing statements. Megan, would you like to start since Tate started?
My closing statement is that I feel like I played a good social game despite many challenges. I did win immunity when it most mattered, and I would appreciate your vote. I understand if you don't give me one, because also I'm very sleepy and want to go to bed.
And Tate.
Okay. I am not very sleepy.
I know. And it makes me more mad.
I will not be going to bed anytime soon, win or lose. This game, this outcome will be in my head. Positively, negatively, I have put everything I have into this game. Embarrassingly so. Like, this is a stupid cardboard game that we turned into longer, but I have devoted a lot of my energy, social energy, brain power, time, whatever, into playing this game to win. I have played 3 versions of some sort of game like this before. One of them was my birthday, where my family played Survivor, and they were playing it for my birthday. So at the beginning, I was like, I can't win this. Like, that feels like pity. So I didn't play that game to win. I had fun with it, but just from the beginning, I wasn't playing to win. I recently played a YouTube game, and I told everyone I was going there to make jury. And that's exactly what I did. I made jury, and I was the first juror, and it was satisfying, but I was still hungry, and I told Greta, like, night 1, that I am playing this game to win, and I'm asking you guys to give that to me. I do genuinely regret looking at Annie's card. I do have some peace in that it ultimately didn't lead to anything move-wise, but just as a precedent, it is not something that I'm proud of or would do again. I do think Mary specifically, since I didn't get a chance to address you in the questioning, and I totally respect your choice not to ask me a question, I do think that me and you had a lot of good game talks. I very much enjoyed talking strategy with you, and I think a lot of the moves, the big swings that I took, were very dependent on you, and you were a very important player in this game for me. Outside of the game, I have loved getting to know you and Clay, bringing new people into the friend group, but I do, specifically in the game, very much value the strategic mind melds that we've had in our late night conversations. So, closing thoughts, please vote for me. I want it badly. I think I played the biggest game, the strongest game. I did enjoy hearing Megan's game. It's more than I knew, and I do think Megan played a very good game. But I think Jeff/Zach's ambivalent questioning of me, I think Megan, not that it was an ambivalent game, but she was in the middle receiving information. She said she kind of like waited where she was going to go. I took big swings every round. They didn't all work, but every single round I thought, what's the biggest swing I can take? What's the most fun thing I can do? And I had fun playing this game, and I hope that is worthy of your vote for the winner.
Alright. Well, I suppose the only thing left for us to do is choose a winner.
And we're voting for a winner.
We're voting for a winner.
I will be fully transparent and say I feel very agitated right now from just a lot of external situations, and I definitely just need to sleep. I am choosing this winner because I believe they displayed more transparency, and I'll even throw the word honesty, although I feel like that's a little bit tricky. I have respect in acknowledging that a plan could be from the get-go to get me out. And although that hurts my feeling, there's a cockroach running directly towards me. Girl, what are you doing? Girl, go away. The cockroach is trying to vote. There we go. Girl, go away. Jeez. Anyway, the person I will be voting for to win is certainly not somebody I expected to be voting for.
Okay, so I'm also tired. I'm ready to go to bed. I think ultimately I probably respect, I don't know, both of them, lied a lot. Obviously, that's just part of the game. So it's kind of hard for me because I struggle with that. I appreciate loyalty over one's ability to deceive.
This is my final vote, and I struggled to decide who to vote for because during Final Tribal, I will say, I considered voting for both of them. I felt like Megan's game was more similar to my own in terms of how she described it and playing the middle and working with different groups of people. And I have a lot of respect for that, not just because it is my own game, but because I just generally, oh, hello, there's a bug. Welcome to Murray. But I do respect that as a game strategy because I think it is working with different people to get different sets of information. And so that I felt very compelled by to hear her talk about it. And I did feel like she owned moves that she has not talked about to me previously. But I also have had respect for Tate taking big swings and big moves and still making it to the end, despite the fact that those swings are polarizing. However, I do want to acknowledge and say I feel like this is a choice where I feel most damned if I do, damned if I don't, because I feel like I have the highest stakes between these two people, and I love them both, and I care about them both, and I wish them both the best, which sounds silly for people I will continue to hang out with right now. This is an interesting vote for me. I think I've been at odds with both of these people. I think I have worked with both of these people, and despite everything, they both bested me. I think they both played the game, and I genuinely think that if I hadn't stabbed Maggie in the back, we could have done something long term. I don't think I ever trusted Tate for a moment, and I was right not to. This vote is extremely difficult.
Well, here we are. It only took like a week, but we are here. The first vote is for Tate. This is gonna go so crazy. The second vote is for Tate for vertical. The third vote, and your winner of GSP Survivor with a unanimous 5 votes.
Wow.
Is
I didn't either.
I did. I texted my sister about it.
Congratulations, Tate. You did it. Unanimous votes, every single person.
Thank you. I'm very happy.
Not somebody I expected to be voting for, especially based on my first and only voting of GSP Survivor 2025. But I will be voting for Tate to be the winner. Congratulations.
I guess overall I'm just going for Tate because I do feel like even afterwards, like up until the end, he did claim that he had plans to go with me, and that meant a lot because I didn't really know anything about this game going in. I don't know, it meant a lot to me that he intended to help me. I don't know, to like, I guess take me along for the ride. And I love Megan, obviously, but I just don't see myself anywhere near her end game. And I know she didn't like try to imply that in her answer my question, but you know, with that, I will be going with Tate.
Surprise! Although I don't respect all of your moves, I feel like you had the most fun and the most chaotic game, and I can respect that. So congratulations.
My vote, I think, was made at the end of Tribal because I felt like I recognized that it's been a long day, but I felt like Megan sort of gave up. Not in the way, I think she made a good case. I think she said good things about her game, but I feel like emotionally she has checked out, and that to me is frustrating. As a person who loves Survivor, I always feel like if you check out of Final Tribal, that's the worst time to check out and to just say I'm done with my game. And so for that reason, I voted for Tate. So here's my vote. There you go, Tate. You voted me out. Congratulations. You get my vote still. For me, at least, I think I do have respect for the way Megan played the game with me, and I have respect for the way that Tate hustled for the game. Wrote my vote, and I am voting for Tate. Megan, you had my vote until you chose Tate to go to the end. I stand by what I said with choosing Tate to the end. I don't think it was the right move for you, and I was honest when I said that. And I think it was the antithesis to the rest of your game. Versus for Tate, it is exactly as he plotted. For that reason, I'm voting for Tate. I still have a lot of respect for both of the games that were played. I have a lot of respect for Megan as a player. I think people are undervaluing her as a player, but I will still be casting my vote for Tate.
Can we read the fake vote?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, we absolutely can. That I have right here in my pocket. The fake vote was from Megan. Tate, you can shut the hell up about your final plea.